I felt the need that university should have an art department, a visual art department. So fortunately, I had a friend, still is a friend of mine, Vice Chancellor in Bangalore University. She was registrar before. So when he was registrar, I went and approached him and I said, "You must start a visual art department." He said, "No, there is Chitakala Parishad." And I said, "Sir, Chitakala Parishad is a private institution and their fee structure is very high. Many young students cannot afford that sort of a fee structure. University is very cheap that way." So he said, "No, it's very difficult. Let me see." So he became Vice Chancellor. When he became Vice Chancellor, I again approached him. I said, "Shall we do something?" He said, "Let me try." And then he spoke to the syndicate members, and finally the syndicate members agreed. And then he said, "We don't have any space." So I said, "You have got trees there?" He said, "Yes, that is enough for us. We will work under the tree." And then he said, "See, it's your baby," you suggested. So now it's however you want to do it. I said, "I am not an academic person. You really need an academic man to do these things. I'm only an artist." And he said, "I leave it to you, suggest names. Let us see." Then I asked, I knew politically one should be careful in not having somebody other than Kannada speaking. University is a very strong local thing, So I thought best is Kannada speaking artists. So in Delhi, one or two, one Calcutta, like that. I asked a few of them. Nobody was ready to come. Only one person who was teaching in Baroda, Jayakumar, he said, "I will try." He is very, very good artist. He was in Hampi University before as a staff member. Then he moved to Baroda. He was also a scholar during Abbas's time, scholarship, and he also went to Royal College of Art, London, and vast experience. And so he said yes. And I told him. Then I told the Vice Chancellor, this Jayakumar is there. Okay, I'll ask him to send his CV. Then I told him to send his CV. He sent his CV. His name is Jayakumar G. Reddy. I said, "Jayakumar, Jay," I call him Jay. "Hey, I didn't know that you are a Reddy, man." "No, sir, what can I do? My father gave me that name and I can't change it. It is there in my university also. But I'm only called as Jayakumar as artist." I said, "That's how I know you, Jayakumar as artist." But then the Vice Chancellor was very thrilled. He called me and said, "You know what, the politically correct decision you have made. Reddy, I have no problem with syndicate. Can appoint him." So, how the caste thing plays there. And so, anyway, when he said, "You being a Brahmin, I being a Brahmin," Vice Chancellor. So, if by chance you had suggested a name to the Brahmin, the syndicate would have said, "Sale, it's not correct thing." So, it's a very correct political decision. I didn't know anything about this, but it happened. So he has been there as a professor and director of the institution. And then at that time, unfortunately, I think I should say, Department of Philosophy, there were no students in the university. That place was vacant. So we started using that place for visual art department. Now, big building is built for visual art department, thanks to then Vice Chancellor, who provided funds and the place board. And now the university, this Department of Need is there. I'm very good students have come out from that, and it was very helpful for a lot of students. And fee structure is so cheap. It started with 1,000 rupees, now it must be about 2,000 rupees a year. Whereas private institutions, they ask 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, things like that. So it is helpful. I was telling the director of visual art department in University of Bangalore that you have a seminar, try to organize a seminar of art education and invite principals of various colleges of Bangalore. Let them come and invite people like Subramaniam is no more, but Ghulam Sheikh is there, and people like them. Education department, Shiv Kumar and Shantanu Ketan, they can come and talk about art education. So even if colleges don't want to start visual departments, they can have one subject art as well as the subjects. Or people can opt for it. But we have got enough artists to become staff members.